The galactic domination fleet of the Xylorian Empire hung in the darkness of space, like a collection of particularly menacing kitchen appliances. Their flagship, the inevitable Victory, led the armada of over 300 warships toward the small blue planet that had just been designated their next conquest. Admiral Vrex stood on the command bridge, his forearms folded across his chest in what the Xylorian Military Academy handbook described as Pose 7, Confident Conqueror. His segmented exoskeleton gleamed under the ship's lights, freshly polished for the occasion. Status report. Vrex demanded, his mandibles clicking with excitement. Lieutenant Grack, a nervous younger Xylorian with only 2 combat missions under his thorax, scurried forward. All systems optimal, Admiral. Earth's primitive defense systems have not detected our approach. Conquest estimated at 3 Earth hours. Excellent. Vrex's compound eyes glittered. 3 hours is generous. I expect we'll be done in 2. Have the kitchens prepare a victory feast. I hear humans have an interesting concept called barbecue that I'd like to try. There is one anomaly, sir, Grack added, antennae twitching. Speak. Our scanners are picking up unusual energy signatures from Earth. They don't match any known weapon systems in our database. Vrex waved a dismissive claw. Probably just their primitive nuclear arsenal. Hardly a concern for our quantum shields. No, sir. It's not nuclear. Our computers can't classify it. Sometimes it registers as a weapon, sometimes as entertainment, sometimes as food. Food? Vrex's mandibles clicked in confusion. Yes, sir. And the patterns keep changing. It's as if their defense systems are improvising. The main view screen flickered to life, showing a human in what appeared to be a military uniform, but with several colorful decorations that served no obvious tactical purpose. The human was leaning back in a chair, feet propped up on a desk, drinking from a mug that said "World's Okayest Commander." "Greetings, alien dudes," the human said, giving a lazy salute. "Commander Jack Murphy here. Earth Defense Forces. Or Tuesday's volunteer, depending who you ask." Vrex straightened his exoskeleton and assumed Pose 12, intimidating overlord. "I am Admiral Vrex of the Xylorian Empire. We have come to conquer your world. Surrender now and your deaths will be swift." Murphy took a slow sip from his mug, then checked his watch. "Yeah, that's not going to work for me. We've got a staff meeting at 3, and then I promised the kids I'd make tacos tonight. How about next Thursday?" Vrex's antennae twitched in confusion. "This is not a negotiation. We are here to conquer." Right, Murphy nodded, seemingly unconcerned. "But here's the thing, we're kind of busy this week. Plus the last aliens who tried this ended up working in our DMVs. Ever heard of the Zorblaxians? No? Exactly. Nobody remembers them anymore." Vrex turned to his second-in-command. "Is this some kind of psychological warfare?" Before his officer could respond, Murphy continued. "Look, I'm sending you our standard please don't invade us packet. It's got some light reading on why Earth is more trouble than it's worth, plus coupons for free frozen yogurt. Who doesn't love frozen yogurt? Am I right?" As Murphy's transmission ended, Vrex's claws tightened on the command console. "Commence the invasion," he hissed. "And someone explain to me what frozen yogurt is and why it would deter us from planetary conquest." Following Standard Galactic Conquest Protocol GCP 5546b, the Xylorians dispatched their top diplomat before launching a full-scale attack. Ziktor, decorated with the medals of peaceful subjugation across his thorax, prepared meticulously for the encounter. Remember, he instructed his aides, humans are primitive but unpredictable. Follow protocol exactly. No deviations. The diplomatic shuttle landed at the designated meeting point, a structure humans called the United Nations, which Xylorian intelligence suggested was where Earth's various tribal leaders gathered to shout at each other. Ziktor was greeted by a human female with short auburn hair and a smile that seemed inappropriately cheerful given the circumstances. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Ellie Ramsey, Earth's diplomatic representative. She extended her hand. Xylorian recoiled. According to protocol, extending an appendage was the prelude to a dominance challenge. He raised his defensive spines. "I come in diplomatic capacity," he said stiffly. "Please retract your war appendage." Ellie looked at her hand, then back at the alien. "Oh, sorry about that. Handshakes are friendly here. Cultural differences, am I right? Anyway, come on in. We've got snacks." The meeting room was chaotic by Xylorian standards. Humans talked over each other, made inexplicable noises called jokes, and repeatedly violated Section 7 of the Galactic Diplomatic Handbook by making eye contact for longer than 2.7 seconds. "So," Ellie said, munching on something called a donut, "you guys want to conquer us. That's super inconvenient, not gonna lie." Xylorian cleared his throat sacs. "The Xylorian Empire has chosen Earth as its next acquisition. If you surrender now—" Yeah, swift deaths, merciful overlords, blah blah blah," Ellie interrupted, waving her donut dismissively. "We've heard it before. The Arcturians in '95, the Nebulon Collective in 2008. Even the Vorgans last year, though they were really just looking for parking." Xylorian's antennae twitched. "There is no record of these encounters in galactic databases." "Of course not," Ellie grinned. "We don't kiss and tell." A human assistant approached with a tray. "Coffee, anyone?" "Oh God, yes." Ellie grabbed a mug. "Our alien friends might enjoy some too. It's our most popular Earth beverage." Xylorian cautiously accepted a cup of the steaming brown liquid. The Xylorian xenobiologists had cleared Earth food as non-toxic to their physiology, so he took a small sip. Instantly, his exoskeleton turned bright purple, a Xylorian response to extreme sensory input. "This is a chemical weapon," he screeched, antennae standing straight up. The human diplomats looked alarmed. "It's just coffee," Ellie protested. "Maybe a bit strong, but—" "You have violated Convention 355X," Xylorian continued, now vibrating slightly. "Chemical warfare is forbidden under galactic law." As the diplomatic team rushed Xylorian back to their shuttle, Ellie called after them, "Should we hold off on the espresso samples then?" Back on the flagship, Admiral Vrex received the disturbing report. "They attempted to poison our diplomatic envoy with a substance called coffee," the medical officer explained. Xylorian is still buzzing. In the medical bay, Xylorian zoomed around the ceiling, his wings a blur. "I can taste the color 9. I can count to infinity. Twice. Mice." Rex's mandibles clicked angrily. "So much for diplomacy. Prepare the first strike. These humans are more devious than we thought." The Xylorian attack fleet deployed in textbook Delta formation, their ships arranging themselves in a perfect three-dimensional grid pattern that was the pride of the Imperial Academy. Each vessel had a designated target, a precise firing sequence, and a meticulously calculated approach vector. Admiral Vrex watched from the command bridge as the initial volley of quantum torpedoes launched toward Earth's major military installations. Finally, he chittered to his officers, a proper demonstration of Xylorian might. What happened next defied all logic and military doctrine. Earth's response was, to put it mildly, unconventional. Instead of deploying planetary shields or counter-missiles, they launched what appeared to be weather balloons. Thousands of them. "What are they doing?" Vrex demanded. "Scan those objects." Lieutenant Grech looked bewildered. "They appear to be simple inflatable devices, sir. But they're playing music." Sure enough, each balloon was broadcasting a different Earth song, creating a cacophony that jammed the Xylorian's sensitive communication frequencies. The precision of the Xylorian attack formation faltered as contradictory orders came through. On the view screen, Commander Murphy appeared again, this time wearing what appeared to be a floral shirt over his uniform. "How's the invasion going? Having fun yet?" He was eating something from a bowl. "Sorry about the balloons." It was either that or unleash the swarm of modified pizza delivery drones. We're saving those for round 2. You think this childish defense will stop us? Vrex snarled. We will adapt. Xylorians always adapt. Cool, Murphy nodded, seemingly unconcerned. Hey, quick question, do your ships have TikTok? Because we just uploaded some killer dance challenges specifically for your fleet's AI. Before Vrex could respond, several of his ships began executing strange maneuvers. Sir. Greg reported destroyers 7 through 19 have begun dancing. Their navigation systems are locked in a routine called the Macarena. Override their systems. I can't, sir. The algorithm is... it's too catchy. On the screen, Murphy continued eating. Oh, by the way, we noticed your ships run on quantum entanglement processors. Neat tech. Our teenagers figured out how to use them to mine cryptocurrency. You might notice some performance issues. As if on cue, half the Xylorian fleet slowed to a crawl, their engines diverted to solving complex mathematical equations that would generate something called Dogecoin. Vrex slammed his claw on the command console. This is impossible. Humans are a pre-galactic civilization. They shouldn't understand our technology. We don't, Murphy admitted cheerfully. We just keep pushing buttons until something works. You'd be amazed how often that strategy pays off. The Xylorian attack faltered completely when Earth's actual defense system finally activated a hodgepodge of retrofitted satellite dishes, repurposed microwave emitters, and what appeared to be modified game consoles, all working together to create a shield that no Xylorian simulation had predicted. Retreat. Vrex finally ordered, his exoskeleton flushed with the Xylorian equivalent of embarrassment. Tactical withdrawal. We need to reassess. As the Xylorian fleet pulled back, Murphy's voice came through one last time. Don't forget your free frozen yogurt coupons. They expire next Tuesday. After the humiliating first engagement, Admiral Vrex turned to more subtle tactics. The Xylorian Empire had not conquered half the galaxy by giving up after one setback. Our direct assault was compromised by unexpected tactics, Vrex addressed his officers. We will now employ our elite infiltration units. Our intelligence suggests humans are oblivious to their surroundings. Our operatives will blend in seamlessly. Chief Infiltrator Krell stood at attention, his adaptive camouflage system already modifying his exoskeleton to approximate human appearance. The result was less than convincing. He resembled a human in the same way a child's drawing resembles an actual person. I have studied human culture extensively, Krell reported. I will infiltrate their command structure and disable their defenses from within. 12 hours later, Krell found himself sitting in a small room with a human identified as Intelligence Officer Miguel Rodriguez. Rodriguez was leaning back in his chair, eating something called nachos and looking amused. So, Rodriguez said, you just walked into the Pentagon, told the receptionist you were definitely a regular human person, and asked to see our defense secrets for totally normal reasons. Krell, still believing his disguise was perfect despite the obvious stares and whispers he'd received, nodded. That is correct, fellow human. I am John Smith, normal Earth person who enjoys human activities like consuming solid food and having only 2 arms. Rodriguez popped another nacho into his mouth. And the reason you're green and have antennae is? Rare medical condition, Krell replied promptly. Called alienitis. Alienitis, Rodriguez repeated flatly. Yes, very common in Canada. Rodriguez nodded slowly. Right. And I suppose the other 6 people who showed up at various military bases today with the same condition are your relatives? Krell's antennae twitched nervously. Coincidence. Rodriguez slid a tablet across the table. On it was a live feed showing the other Xylorian infiltrators, all in equally unconvincing disguises, sitting in similar rooms. Here's what I don't get, Rodriguez continued. You guys can build faster than light spaceships, but you couldn't Google what humans actually look like. Our intelligence suggested humans were unobservant, Krell said defensively. Rodriguez laughed. We spotted you guys the moment you entered Earth's atmosphere. But hey, we're having fun, so we played along. Back on the Xylorian flagship, Admiral Vrex watched in horror as all 7 infiltration teams were captured within hours of deployment. But the true disaster came when Earth's media outlets began broadcasting what they called a reality TV special titled Undercover Alien. The show featured the captured Xylorians attempting to complete human tasks like making a sandwich, parallel parking, or understanding sarcasm. It became an overnight sensation, with viewers across Earth tuning in to watch the aliens' confusion. "They've weaponized embarrassment," Vrex whispered in horror as he watched Krell attempt to make sense of an IKEA instruction manual. His forearms tangled in what was supposed to become a coffee table. The final insult came when Commander Murphy sent a message. "Thanks for the entertainment. Your spies have been great for ratings. We're thinking of starting a spin-off show called Alien Idol. By the way, we've sent the broadcast signal to about 17 different galactic civilizations. Hope you don't mind the publicity." Vrex's exoskeleton paled to a sickly off-white color. "They're not just defeating us," he realized. "They're turning us into a punchline." Admiral Vrex had reached his breaking point. Diplomatic efforts had resulted in caffeine-crazed diplomats. The first strike had been derailed by balloons and dance challenges. Infiltration teams were now starring in a hit reality show. "No more clever tactics," he announced to his officers. "No more strategic finesse. We launch everything we have. Overwhelming force. They cannot possibly counter our entire arsenal." The Xylorian fleet formed up for one final, massive assault. Every weapon was charged, every ship committed to the attack. This time there would be no dancing, no balloons, no distractions. As the fleet approached Earth once more, they were met with nothing. No defense grid activated. No countermeasures launched. Earth hung in space, seemingly defenseless. "They've given up," Vrex declared triumphantly. "They know they cannot win. All ships commence firing on my mark." Just then, their sensors detected a single small vessel approaching the Xylorian fleet. It was tiny, barely larger than a shuttle, and completely unarmed. "Incoming transmission," Lieutenant Grack reported. Commander Murphy appeared on screen, this time wearing what appeared to be pajamas, and holding a mug that read "Not before my coffee." "Hey there, before you start blasting, I just wanted to let you know we're trying something new today. You see, we realized we've been overthinking this whole defense thing." Vrex's eyes narrowed. "Your tricks won't work this time, human. We are committed to victory." "No tricks," Murphy promised. "Just one question, have you folks ever heard of Wikipedia?" Before Vrex could respond, every screen on every Xylorian ship suddenly displayed the same image, a detailed technical schematic of the Xylorian flagship, complete with annotations highlighting structural weaknesses and critical systems. "What is this?" Vrex demanded. "Well, waited for," Murphy explained, sipping from his mug. "Turns out one of your crew members, I think their name was Zik Thor, the coffee enthusiast, had such a good time on our planet that they decided to contribute to our online encyclopedia. Wrote up a whole detailed entry on Xylorian warship design. Very thorough. Included all the technical specs, emergency override codes, exact frequency to disrupt your quantum shields, the works." Vrex's mandibles clicked frantically. "Impossible. That's classified information." "I know, right?" Murphy agreed. "We were surprised too. But apparently after 17 cups of espresso, Zik Thor got really chatty. Anyway, we've taken the liberty of transmitting this information to every ship in our modest little fleet." As if on cue, thousands of small craft emerged from behind Earth's moon. They weren't military vessels, they were civilian ships, pleasure cruisers, even some that appeared to be retrofitted garbage scows. But each one was now equipped with a single weapon precisely calibrated to exploit the Xylorians' weaknesses. "You see," Murphy continued, "we humans have this saying, work smarter, not harder. Why build a massive military fleet when we can just let you tell us exactly how to beat you?" The human ships moved in perfect coordination, each targeting a specific vulnerability on the Xylorian vessels. Some fired what appeared to be modified television remote controls that somehow disrupted Xylorian targeting systems. Others deployed what looked suspiciously like carnival prize stuffed animals that, when attached to the Xylorian hulls, somehow disabled their propulsion systems. This is not warfare. Vrex screamed as his mighty fleet was systematically disabled by what appeared to be yard sale technology. This violates every principle of honorable combat. Oh, we're not big on honorable combat here, Murphy explained cheerfully. We prefer to win. It's kind of our thing. The coup de grace came when Murphy's small vessel approached the Xylorian flagship and attached what looked like an ordinary household plunger to its hull. Somehow, this simple device created a cascading power failure throughout the entire command ship. As systems failed around him, Vrex collapsed into his command chair, his exoskeleton fading to the pale yellow of defeat. How? He whispered. How can a species that still uses combustion engines defeat the mighty Xylorian Empire? On the flickering view screen, Murphy shrugged. We're really good at improvising. Also, we watched a lot of MacGyver growing up. It's this show where you know what, never mind. Do you surrender? With his fleet disabled by stuffed animals, plungers, and remote controls, Admiral Vrex had no choice. We surrender, he clicked softly. The surrender negotiations took place in a location humans called Dave Buster's pub, which the Xylorians were horrified to learn was not a formal diplomatic venue but rather an entertainment facility filled with flashing lights, loud noises, and something called skee ball. Admiral Vrex, now stripped of 3 of his 4 rank insignias, sat across from Commander Murphy and diplomat Ellie Ramsey. The table between them was laden with mozzarella sticks and potato skins, neither of which contained actual sticks or skin. Let's talk terms, Ellie said, dipping a mozzarella stick in marinara sauce. First off, you guys have to leave Earth alone, permanently. Like, don't even send Christmas cards. Agreed, Vrex said miserably. His once proud exoskeleton now drooped noticeably. Second, Murphy continued, we want access to your faster-than-light technology. Our scientists are tired of trying to reverse engineer it from crashed UFOs. Half the time they just end up with really fancy toasters. That violates galactic law, Vrex protested weakly. Pre-FTL civilizations cannot be given. Third, Ellie interrupted, we want the recipe for that blue stuff your crew drinks. It looks delicious and would make an amazing cocktail mixer. Vrex stared at them. You defeat our armada, humiliate our empire, and your demands are our propulsion technology and beverage recipes? Murphy shrugged. We were also thinking you guys could send a team to help with our DMV lines. They're ridiculous. Before Vrex could respond, the screens around the restaurant, which were supposed to be showing sporting events, suddenly displayed the face of the Xylorian Emperor himself. What is the meaning of this? The Emperor demanded, his royal antennae quivering with rage. Admiral Vrex, explain why I am receiving surrender documents from my flagship. Murphy waved at the screen. Hey there, Emperor dude. We're just wrapping up the details. Your boy Vrex here put up a good fight, but, you know, Earth. The Emperor's compound eyes widened. Earth? You invaded Earth? Vrex looked confused. Yes, my Emperor. As ordered in Directive 7729B. You fool, the Emperor hissed. That was a clerical error. No one invades Earth. It is known throughout the galaxy, Earth is the planet you do not mess with. Ellie nearly choked on her mozzarella stick. Wait, we have a reputation? The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Of course you do. The species that defeated the Arcturian hive mind with nothing but a computer virus and primitive nuclear weapons? The planet that repelled the Nebulon Collective using only your planet's magnetic field and something called disco music? The world that turned the mighty Vorgan Armada into service workers? Murphy grinned. So you've heard of us. Every species in the galaxy has heard of you. The Emperor continued. Why do you think no major power has attempted to conquer Earth? You are classified as threat level Omega, chaotic unpredictability. Vrex's antennae drooped even further. But our intelligence suggested they were a primitive species barely capable of interplanetary travel. Their technology is primitive, the Emperor agreed. Their methods are not. They are the only species that regularly defeat superior forces through what they call winging it. It defies all logic, all strategy. As the Emperor continued berating Vrex, Ellie leaned over to Murphy. Should we tell them about the time we almost nuked ourselves by accident? Probably not the best time, Murphy whispered back. The final treaty was signed 2 days later. The Xylorian Empire agreed to never again approach Earth, to provide limited technological exchanges, mainly improved coffee makers, and to send a team of efficiency experts to help reorganize Earth's bureaucratic systems. In return, Earth promised not to broadcast the undercover alien reality show beyond their solar system, though Season 2 was already in production, and to stop referring to the incident as that time we kicked alien butt with balloons and plungers. As the last Xylorian ship prepared to depart, Commander Murphy sent one final message to Admiral Vrex. No hard feelings, right? You guys were worthy opponents. For what it's worth, you lasted longer than the Zorblaxians. Vrex's response was simple. What is a plunger, and how did it disable a quantum-powered battlecruiser? Murphy smiled. That's the neat part, we have no idea. We just try stuff until something works. As Earth faded from view, Vrex updated the galactic database with a new entry on humanity. Approach with extreme caution. Do not attempt conquest. Will defeat you with household objects and questionable logic. Also avoid their coffee at all costs. Across the galaxy, other civilizations nodded in agreement. Earth had once again proven why no one dared to try.